You and I both know that mold is dangerous long before it's visible. And by the time it becomes visible, it's very bad. The problem with the TAA lease is a person can't assess mold. So the TAA lease is asking the tenant to assess mold by reporting it. So when they complain about mold, then we go back and say, this person couldn't assess mold. He or she could only report the appearance of mold because they aren't licensed to assess it.
Yeah, that's real interesting because in Texas, and again, Texas, you require a license in order to legally identify mold as just that, mold. But if they're asking tenants to report visible mold, then in Texas they can't because they're not licensed to visually identify mold growth as just that, mold growth.
Correct. And so anytime I have a client that has said, I think I have mold in my apartment, I say, that's not possible. I mean, you're asking them to do things that aren't legal under the law.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can talk to you about the appearance of biological growth or the appearance of what looks like mold, but they can't assess mold. You know, it's not under TDLR. In the occupation code, only a mold assessment consultant, section 1958, only a mold assessment consultant can assess mold. And they actually say in that paragraph that, you know, you can clean mold, which would be remediation, which they're not allowed to do either. So, you know, it's all pretty shocking to me.
So in between those lines, basically, if you're a tenant, you can't visually identify mold as mold in Texas because you're not licensed unless you have a license as a mold assessment consultant or technician, which also means that there are maintenance people that are coming in to also look at the areas that you're complaining about can't visually identify mold as mold and say it's not mold unless they have a license as a mold assessment consultant or technician. Because many times I'm told by tenants, well, so-and-so from the apartment complex came in and they said it wasn't mold, it was mildew, or it was just, growth or organic substance. And or it was this or it was that. And they can't do that unless they're licensed.
Correct. I keep that section. I have a section like that in almost every petition I have because it happens on a regular basis. Almost every tenant has been told that's not mold. They don't even try to say it's mildew. They'll just say it's not mold. And I mean, most people are say, I wish I had known that, because they go through and let it get painted over and they keep getting sicker and sicker until finally they realize this isn't right, and I think managements and owners just really hope that the person will move out and a new person will move in and they can start all over again, and that they won't have to deal with it because it's all about the bottom line is what it comes down to.